Hi, this is Red Twizzler. This is actually the first time I decided to start streaming this game. Um, I actually started this game a little bit, I guess a few weeks ago actually, and I don't know what got me into it, but I guess I'm still relatively a new player. The thing is, I used to play these damn Pokemon games when I was like 10 years old. And one day, I was watching this reel on Facebook about this boxer. And I'm pretty sure he's a famous YouTube streamer as well. His name is Logan Paul, and a lot of people know him. So he decided to go into the Mayweather fight with a $6 million Pokemon card. Right there, I think it was a $1 million Pokemon card, but which is kind of interesting because I just bought a house and a property recently, and I was like, and as soon as I saw that reel, I was amazed. I was like, how the fuck are there Pokemon cards that are worth $1 million? That's insane. So I started looking into Pokemon cards, and somehow I led into this. I was led into this Pokemon game. Basically, I went from Pokemon cards to figuring out what's going on in Pokemon now, and I was looking at the latest games, and I was interested because I was like, yo, there's when I was 10 years old, I was crazy about these damn games, and I would I'll play this game for hours on a Game Boy Color when I was 10 years old. And so I started looking into downloading ROMs for NDS games, and figured what the hell, I'll just kill some time playing some Pokemon games because I'm bored and shit. So yeah, and then I was looking through YouTube to figure out what's the top 10 Pokemon games out, and I found this game. It's a pretty interesting game. I think it's rated the best online Pokemon game, but this game is basically how I would it's pretty much everything that they should have done a long time ago with Pokemon. Especially you've seen how crazy Pokemon was with Pokemon Go. You got old people, young people playing this game, and you might wonder why do they play this game? It's because it brings back childhood memories. This game was so big. This whole franchise was freaking humongous for many years, and it was so big in our generation because it just came out. So every single child that was 10 years old, born in the 1990s, early 1990s, were crazy about this franchise. So this really got me into playing this game, and this game is basically an MMO version of all the old games combined with all the new games put together, which is great because this is what Pokemon should have been for a very long time. This would have been exactly what everyone wanted for a very long time from Pokemon. It was basically everything that people wanted from Pokemon Go into something that is more simpler, easier to play without getting complicated and running all over the place and stuff like that to capture Pokemon, which makes no damn sense either. It was an interesting idea, but I think this game really has every bit of it down to the detail. Basically, they allow an online server. You can log in with desktop or mobile, and you can basically play this game with anything you do. You can take I take my dog out to the dog park, and I will sit there, take my phone out and start playing this game, or just log in and start playing this game. Hey, Spoo, come here. No, it's okay, baby. Don't worry about it. Okay, let me just get this done. Come on, Boo Boo, what are you doing? Come on, I know you're excited. Just shut up. No. Sorry about that. My kid's he's acting up. So that's my real life Pokemon right here. Is my dog. So it's he's annoying. So yeah, that really got me into this game. I was sitting down playing it, and it just brought back all these old memories that I had playing this game. And it was awesome because like the thing with this game is it actually brings back all the old and new games put together. So chill out, come on, relax, sit down, sit down. So that's what it was, it got me into this game. So like the interface of this game is actually very well made. Like if you take a look, this was like I'm actually the thing. Like I forgot to mention, this game is actually not an authentic Namco game. I think Namco is the franchise owner of Pokemon. So this is not an authentic game from the organization. But what this game is actually a hacked game. Hack meaning that like they took all the code from the old Nintendo games, the GBAs, the NDS games, and they put it together into one game, and they kept a lot of the same controls and like transferred it over into this one huge game. And they did some like programming work to like put it together. I'm also a software developer personally. Like that's what I do. It's just what I do in my career. So like, and looking into this game, like its simplicity and its its integration with everything, it's a very well made game. So as you can see, like it has all these different regions of Pokemon, some of which I have never seen from the franchise, and they put it all together in one game. So you got this Kanto region, which is the original Pokemon games. You got this new Johto region, which is like Gen 2, I think. And then you got the Hoenn region, you got the Sinnoh region, you got all these new regions of Pokemon that like I haven't like kept up with it that far. And they put it all into this one huge, massive multiplayer online game with other players, which I thought was very interesting. So as you can see, like if you look at the interface, it's actually pretty interesting and unique. It kind of reminds you of like a combination of RuneScape and the Pokemon RPG style game put together. The interface looks a lot like it. Like you have all these windows that can open up to give you some details, and you can like move up the windows. You have settings to adjust the resolution of the game. So you have different ways of playing it, and especially if you want to adjust these settings for your phone, you have different buffers and stuff like that. But you don't need to necessarily go into that much detail for this game because it's a very simple text-based game. It's you just like click a few buttons, move around, click a few buttons, and that's it. It's just read text, instruction, turn-based game. It's really simple to play. You have a chat window on the right. You have different tabs for the chats. You have like to focus your chat into like a particular area of interest. So you have like also system commands, I guess, like there's some system log messages over here. So yeah, this is a pretty cool game. You have a Pokédex in here that can allow you to like do a little research or a little lookup on the Pokemon that you're like maybe fighting against, or you're trying to you have an interest against, which is pretty cool. So you can see that it has like 890 Pokemon registered. I have no idea what this stuff is, but they look like legendaries. So you have a map in here. You have a backpack. These are all click. So it organizes into categories: your normal misc sack, your Pokeballs, your medicine, your TMs, your key items, your customization items, and eggs that you can carry. You have your Pokemon on the top left side, and you can organize your party however way you want, which is interesting because it's not like it's actually more flexible than your old GBA system, because you don't have to like go into your backpack, go into your Pokemon, and then like figure it out. You can actually just like slide and switch. So this interface was very unique and flexible. Basically, it's a really easy to play, easy to navigate through. You also have like this feature with you have the first Pokemon out So you can trade it, and they actually had to have worked on the icon for each one of these damn Pokemons, right? So, so as you can see, the details are pretty damn good. I mean, they did a lot of good things with the game in general. Like, it looks pretty dope. It's, so the battle style of this game is like, it's a turn-based text style game, and it's very simple. I think it was carried over the old series of the game, so it's pretty straightforward. You choose an attack, you attack, and it's a turn-based attack kind of game, text game. You can also see, like, there's some details about, how much variation this game goes into, like, with combat style and everything. It's pretty interesting. So these Pokemons, they have like a stat of, like, they have certain stats that are associated to each Pokemon. So I'll go by how the programming seemed to work from my perspective. It seems like, okay, so there's like an attack, defense, speed, special attack, and special defense, and then HP. So these are the fundamental stats of the Pokemon. If you go into like a Pokédex, for example, you'll see like if you go into look into Dragonite on your Pokédex, you're going to see that there's some base stats of the Pokemon. So you see that in the base stat, there's an attack, defense, speed, special attack, defense. These are the base stats of a Pokemon. And you can see that on its base stat, its highest stat is like attack, and its second highest stat is defense. So attack and defense is what this Pokemon is really about, which is a Dragonite. Then there's a attribute that has like a style of this Pokemon. It's a dragon and a flying type, and it's some height, weight proportion. I guess is not important other than drawing it out on screen. But so these attributes are like the base attributes of the Pokemon, and then there's some acquired attributes that you can get from training. So one of the things, the aspects of this game which works on the different variations of the Pokemon that you can have and the different variation of attributes, is that there is a attribute called Nature that can kind of depict what kind of Pokemon that you're going to get. Like, it's like a, it's a random selection. It's a random find, but it's like it's basically, I don't know, like nature. It's somehow associated to some of the base stats that this Pokemon has. So this game has this thing called IVs and EVs. These have something to do with some random number that is generated called an IV. And EVs are basically like additional stat points that you can train on your Pokemon. It's a little bit complicated in that sense, but it's actually not that complicated if you if you get a base understanding of it. Basically, IVs are randomly generated numbers that are randomly found with your Pokemon, and is somewhat associated. The distribution of IVs are permanent to the Pokemon that you catch, and is somewhat related to the nature of the Pokemon. So certain natures of the Pokemon might have different fundamental IV stats, and they're randomly generated. So like I don't think you can control this much other than trying to associate the IVs, the base IVs of the Pokemon compared to its nature. I think based on the type of nature Pokemon you catch, you might have like a different list of IVs for the same Pokemon. So that's one of the things, and IVs are said to be permanent. They're like a permanent stat. They just give you an additional boost to the normal basic stat of your Pokemon, and the distribution of it is slightly different. But relatively, it makes very small difference, especially if you train your Pokemon to max level, for example. And the second thing is there's something called EVs. EVs are called effort values, and they are basically stats that you can train additional to its base level. These EVs are generated by killing Pokemon, basically, or battling Pokemon and defeating them. And basically how it works is that, let's give Caterpie, for example. If I go do a base lookup in my Pokédex for Caterpie, this wild Caterpie, I can see that, if I hover over, that its maximum stat is speed, which is 45, and HP, which is 45. So speed and HP are tied at 45, which means that if I kill this Caterpie, that means that basically my Dragonite here is either going to get a attack EV or an HP EV if I beat this Pokemon. So let's just go ahead and simulate that out. So bang, Caterpie fainted, and you can see that I think HP was the one that was acquired from that battle. Attacker HP was acquired. So basically that's exactly how it works. It's like you kill a Pokemon and its highest base stat is what you would get for an EV value, and you can use that to further train your Pokemon slightly biased in one direction or the other, So this one got a HP stat. So basically the way it works is that EVs, for every 4 EVs that you get, it's equated to 1 additional stat. So I think the other stats are more or less related to, like, receiving damage and dishing out damage, while the HP stat is directly related to the amount of health your Pokemon has. So that's basically it, depending on how you train your Pokemon or what kind of battles you go through, your base stat basically is biased in one direction or the other. So it's pretty cool. The navigation of this game is pretty cool too. There's many ways to navigate into, your Pokédex or your Pokemon that you're fighting. If you're going out in the wild and you're searching for Pokemon, one of the things you can do is that if you already found your Pokemon in a Pokédex, then you can, whichever area you're in, you get to find out information about the Pokemon that you encountered. For example, I can click on this Pinico, and I can pull it up on a Pokédex. And if I've seen it once, then I basically know a lot of information about this Pokemon already. So if I hover over, its highest stat is defense. So if I kill it, I'll get 1 defense EV. And the other thing is, you can also, if you're interested in finding out where this Pokemon belongs, you can also go into the list of areas where you can find it. And also, you can also figure out, if you catch this Pokemon, at what levels would it, learn a certain move. It has a moveset tab in here. So it also has an ability tab. And you can also find all the areas where you can catch it. So there's a bug catching area, and you see, if you hover over, there's like a tooltip that says where you can find it. So this is a symbol for land, symbol for water, symbol for day, and symbol for night, symbol for morning, and you can see the highlights. You can find it in the land, in the morning, night, or mornings, during daylight, or nighttime. So you can find it at all times in the grass area of the bug catching area. So basically, you can go into your maps. You can try to find a bug catching area. I don't know where it exactly is, but somewhere. Bug catching area. I think it's over here. Maybe it's Safari Zone. I know it was somewhere. Damn. But yeah, it was like somewhere in here, I think, you'll find it. I don't know, or you could, or the other thing is you can always Google things. That also helps as well. But yeah, so that's basically cool stuff, good stuff in here. So so even if you have one Pokemon and they're the same, depending on the way you train it, you could turn into a different Pokemon and it can differ greatly. 2 of the same Pokemon can differ greatly by the end of training. There's some common features of the game, but basically it's a very interesting concept of evolution, basically. Like, it's an idea of nature versus nurture. I guess that's one way of looking at it. And basically, like, like, I think nature is like its inherited nature is its base stats, and then like nurture would be the way you train it, kind of like evolves in a certain way, and it kind of like you kind of train some bias into the Pokemon to be good at certain things over others. Like you have some control over it. It's pretty interesting. This whole thing. Well, yeah, you might be wondering why I think so much about that kind of logic and philosophy. But basically, I guess one of the things that influenced me is like me having a dog, and like that's part of my life. I have to like figure out how to like train him and like make him obedient and let him run around and have fun and stuff. So yeah, you might be wondering what I'm doing in here. Like I'm kind of running around in this forest. Basically, I got this level 100 Dragonite, and because it's already level 100, the only way I can make it stronger is to EV train it. So what I'm doing here is I'm trying to make it max out his attack EV training, because I want to like basically nurture this Pokemon to have the highest attack stat that I can possibly get with it. And that's one. And the other thing is I kind of need it for a quest. I'm getting like a Charizard X, so I need to have this at 252 in order to do it. So I'm kind of stuck looping, trying to find like attack biased Pokemon to kill, basically. So that's basically what I'm doing here. Yeah, so cool. So far, although I'm new, I decided to go. I did get all the badges for the Kanto and Johto regions. So this is interesting because there's another thing in this game that kind of makes it. I don't know. It might be a good thing. I think it's a good thing than actually it being a bad thing. But basically, like if you happen to defeat or get all the gym badges in the Kanto region, and you decided to beat the Elite Four of the Kanto region, the thing is, like all the Pokemon that you acquired from this region, if you were to go to Johto, the Johto region, for example, basically you cannot take any of the Pokemon that you have caught in the Kanto region and use it in the Johto region until you get all the gym badges. So that's a rule in the game, and I guess if you look into the Pokemon, for example, there's an ID associated and also a tag that says where you caught the Pokemon. So which region did you catch the Pokemon? That's another thing here. So there's a couple of other interesting things you can do with the Pokemon, which is pretty cool. So basically, a Pokemon can hold an item. That's one thing, and depending on the item that you hold, it can give you some advantages or disadvantages. Like compared to other Pokemon, for example, like if this Pokemon is holding a Draco Plate, then it boosts the power of Dragon type moves. For example, that's one. So this one is holding Leftovers, and if I highlight it, an item to be held, the holder's HP is slowly but steadily restored through every battle, basically. So this one is holding Black Glasses, boosts the power of Dark type moves by 20% when held. That's interesting. And also you'll see that every unique Pokemon has a special ability. So if I Google Early Bird, for example, as an ability, Early Bird ability Pokemon, and basically it's a Pokemon ability that says Early Bird, the Pokemon awakens quickly from sleep. Not the most interesting ability, but it does have some slight advantages. So it has the ability Inner Focus. So Inner Focus prevents the Pokemon from flinching when attacked with a move like Headbutt, so that's pretty good. So this Pokemon is immune from flinching, and a flinch basically is basically when you're battling. Certain moves have the ability to make the Pokemon flinch. I don't know if I have one, or someone may. I think this one might. So the user crunches up the target with sharp fangs. This may also lower the target's defense stats. The user releases a horrible aura imbued with dark thoughts. This may also make the target flinch. So this ability, for example, can make a Pokemon flinch. And basically a flinch happens like, maybe 10 to 30% of the time, depending on the attack that you use. And 10 to 30% of the time the Pokemon will basically flinch, and the attacking or the battling Pokemon that you're battling against cannot attack the next turn. Basically, you get an advantage in the battle. So there's all these kind of variations in the game with attacks. The Pokemon's learning ability for learning a specific kind of attack. And also like EV training, bias training, its base natural stats, its base natural weaknesses, which are basically, this is a dragon flying Pokemon. Dragon flying Pokemon has a certain weakness to a certain kind of Pokemon, basically. So that's and also has advantages against other kind of Pokemon. So that there's a whole bunch of variations of this game with all these damn Pokemons that you can catch. There's 890 of them, and all these kind of variations of things that you can create from this game. So it's pretty it's a lot. I mean, even though the game is simple, there's quite a few things here that makes every player unique and different. So and make every Pokemon unique and different. So that's pretty cool that you can have so many variations of one Pokemon here. So so yeah, I kind of like went into a lot of I guess technical jargon with this game. I apologize for that, but yes, there's a lot of cool stuff here that you can go through, and there's a lot of quests in here too. That's something that I forgot to mention. Like this game being like an MMO game, there's certain things that you can get that is like have some sort of rarity and value because they're harder to get than other things based on the quest that you do. So there is a kind of a market that's developing in the game where people are selling items and trying to bring up a market of like of this artificial Pokemon money that is being used in the game. And finally, like other modern games, there is a way to donate and contribute to the game. Because this is an open source game, I guess, like it's not really an open source game, but that there's a development group that acquired rights and ownership of it without licensing and privileges. So this is it's actually an illegal game, but why destroy something so good? Like this is something Pokemon should have been for a very long time, and that's the beauty of it. You can donate to this game by going into the marketplace, and there's certain things you can get from it. Basically, it's $50 for 1,000 coins, but you can like get 100 coins for like maybe $5 or something, or 200 coins for $5, or they actually go by UK. So it's actually you have to buy them in euros, but there's a PayPal that have a conversion. I think there's a 1-on-1 ratio with USD and euros. So if you want to purchase some things that give you a slight advantage or a slight style, you can donate to the game by purchasing artificial virtual resources in the game. So that's something you can do if you are interested in donating. What a great way to donate to the game, and it's not that expensive. I mean, I guess it's pretty. It's like, if you're gonna play the damn game, I mean, like, yeah, like it's, you think about it. If it's a really well-made product, you're gonna be like, hey, maybe I'm gonna go ahead and nab a style in the game and actually contribute and donate to the game, because you like the work that they've done. I mean, it's pretty good. It's pretty nice. They also have this thing called guilds. So I guess you can chat with a guild, join a guild, and stuff like that. You can also, yeah, you can. A lot of people in this game are pretty friendly and trustworthy. So if you need to trade in or basically evolve your Pokemon through a trade, certain Pokemon can only evolve through trading. There's some limitations in certain Pokemon. So basically everything that applies in the old games have been carried over, mostly, but not everything. There's also a PvP thing going on here. You can also like basically, if you run into a player, you can challenge them to a PvP battle, or you can go into this queue matchup and have a ranked battle with other players as well. So there's and that's the whole thing with the, like, I guess the competitiveness in the game. If you go PvP, you're gonna want every detail of advantage that you can get. This is a player right here. You can go ahead and inspect what this player has. You know, you kind of get a gist of what he's about and what kind of Pokemon he's working with. I can also go ahead and message him. I can right click and battle him. A normal battle is using the Pokemon that you have caught, and a random battle is just a random generated Pokemon for both members, and you just have to randomly pick a battle. You can trade, you can friend them, you can respect them or ignore them, up to you. So yeah, you know, like it's quite a bit, you know. Anything else? There's a date and time stamp. Yeah, you know, there's quite a bit, and also there's some useful accessories that you can get if you do choose to donate. Like if you get a mount or a flashlight or some of these equipment that you have to teach a Pokemon a move to get done, like you can carry it as an equipment rather than teaching a Pokemon a certain move. Like, you know, mount, yeah, I don't know, like, you know, like cutting down trees or something. Like, you know, this is an example of it. Like, if you need to headbutt a tree, you can get an item for that rather than teaching a Pokemon headbutt. I mean, because it takes up space, and so yeah, you know, like there's also there's some other there's other aspects of the game where you can try to like gain an advantage over other players. So this is interesting. Like if you do enough research on the Pokemon that you're working with, for example, you can teach it certain moves. So like one of the things that I do is, like, if you take a look at my Alakazam, for example, like I noticed that on its base stats, right, most of its stats are it's a very good Pokemon on special attack, and it seems like speed is the other thing. But speed is a little bit biased because I have 94 EVs, so that's about maybe over 23 levels in addition to this stat. But it's still like the two highest stats. So if I EV train this Pokemon for special attack and speed, is going to have very high special attack and speed. So because its special attack is much higher than its normal attack, I decided to teach this Pokemon all of his offensive stats are special attacks. So that's something of a correlation you can use to strategize what kind of moves you want your Pokemon to learn, basically. So that's one of the uniqueness of that you can apply. So when it comes to an attack style, as you can see, there's like this orange star with this attack. Or an orange star means it's a physical attack, and a physical attack is directly related to a attack, basically as attack stat. A special attack like this one, for example, Dark Pulse, you can see that it's highlighted by this like bluish circle-ish thing. Its special attack is directly correlated to the special attack stat in this highlighted region, special attack. So as you can see, for this Pokemon Houndoom, it has much higher special attack than normal attack. So Dark Pulse is most likely going to do more damage than Crunch against other Pokemons, with the exception of defense and special defense. So basically, defense stat is not to be neglected, but it's your Pokemon's ability to take or receive a damage related to a physical attack or a special attack. So physical attack defense is related to normal defense, and special attack defense is related to special defense. So as you can see, this Pokemon has a lot higher special defense than normal defense. So it can take. So basically, if you were to choose an attack on Houndoom, your best bet would be trying to use a physical attack rather than a special attack. And you most likely want to work against its weaknesses. So basically, it's weak against water, and its defense is much lower for physical attacks. You want to use a physical water move, would be much more effective against Houndoom than a special water move. Does that make sense? So that's one thing, but there's also another catch-22 with everything like in this game. For example, like Aqua Tail right here is a physical move, physical move, and it has a power of 90. Well, you might have to trade off between thinking, hey, how much damage is a physical attack going to do on a Pokemon compared to a special attack like Hydro Pump doing a base power of 110. There's a whole bunch of variations of moves that cannot be quite calculated with a off the top of your head, but there's something you use with your intuition, I guess. But the more you kind of understand the programming of its statistical turn-based kind of situation, you can kind of like predict a very you can start thinking very differently about the game. That kind of makes it unique. So that's all the technical stuff about it. If you're just interested in playing the game, who isn't? Obviously you just want to have fun. You can just go ahead and experience it to be what it is. You don't have to worry about any of its base stats or anything like that. Because to be honest, none of this stuff actually matters until you get it to max level, which is level 100. And then you can start thinking about what kind of moves you want to teach this Pokemon, what kind of training you want to give it. You can also train it for some creative defensive features or some very interesting methodologies. For example, if you take a look at my Arcanine, for example, you'll see that it has a flying type move, a ground type move, an electric type move, and a fire type move. So this Arcanine is very interesting because if I were to battle a Pokemon, it has a lot of ability to do damage in various ways, especially against diverse weaknesses of other Pokemon. For example, if I battle another Arcanine, Arcanine is weak against ground type moves, and Arcanine can also learn a ground type move, like Dig. So this attack is very useful against its own breed. Like for example, also if you think about another move like Thunderfang. Thunderfang is a very good I would say lateral counter type move for Arcanine. Mainly because Arcanine is weak against water type Pokemon, so most likely if you're going to do a PvP battle, someone sees your Arcanine out, they're going to switch to a water Pokemon. And what you can do is that you can set that person up for a trap, because this Arcanine now knows Thunderfang, and Thunderfang can drop that water Pokemon, especially because it's a physical attack. Its base power level is 160, which is 65. But if you're fighting against a water Pokemon, a water Pokemon is going to take 2 times the damage. So power 2 times 65 is 130. And if you take a look at Arcanite's physical attack, which is 247, which is pretty high compared to his special attack, 247. This is a physical attack times 65. You know, I don't know how the math exactly works, but you can see that it has a very strong ratio of dropping that Pokemon in one hit. So, those are things to consider about training your Pokemon for various things. It's and this is pretty useful. It's a useful way to strategize in the game, which goes overlooked. So yeah, I've been training this damn Dragonite, and I've been trying to train his attack EV, and it's been steadily going up to like 318, as you can see. I think I ran out of power-ups for this move. So, so the thing with this this thing that I'm doing here, I'm actually trying to do a quest in this game. It's called Charizardite X quest. So let me pull that up real quick. Mega X. See what I got. Special attack, special defense, and need it. So basically, there's another kind of evolution in this game called Mega Evolution, and if you want your Charizard to be like a Mega Evolved form of itself, I already have this one, but I want to get this one now. Basically, the Charizard is not the final evolution. There's something called Mega Evolution. And in order to Mega Evolve your Pokemon, you need a certain stone for it. And in order to get that stone, you have to do a quest for it. So for Charizard, this one, in order to get this one now, I have to do this mission, this quest. So let's see, where do I get that quest stamp? Charizard X, what, dude? Okay, it doesn't have a quest here, so what do I call it? Charizard X quest. Oh man, just Google it then. So yeah, this is basically I think this is it. Yeah, this is the one. So basically, so you can begin this quest as a Mega Zone, or the Mega Stone. The Kanto region is hard. You start at Cinnabar Island, and you need a prerequisite. Basically, there's a professor studying Mega Evolutions. You need a level 60 Pure Fire Pokemon that knows a Flying type move. You need a Flying Pokemon that is not a Dragon that knows a Fire and a Dragon type move. With the exception is attack, defense, special attack, and speed IVs must also be combined to 60 or above. So I do have one. So basically for that one, I have a Pure Fire type Pokemon that knows a Flying type move, which is Arcanine that knows Aerial Ace. I got Gyarados, level 60, that knows Flamethrower, Dragon Dance, and Hurricane, which is a Flying type move, Flame, Flying, and Dragon. Which is a water and flying Pokemon. And I also, and for the last part of this quest, I need basically a level 100 Dragon type Pokemon that knows a Fire type move and the move Dragon Dance. It also needs to have 25 or more IVs in either attack or special attack. 24, 5 or more IVs in either attack or special attack, and 252 EVs in either one of those stats. And it must be your OT. So let's see what I have in here. This Dragon Knight has... Oh, I can't even use this one. What the fuck? Jesus Christ. Can you believe this shit? All this fucking work I've done, I can't even use it. I can't even... I'm gonna shoot myself. Like, I did all this fucking work, and... It also needs to have 25 or more IVs in either attack or special attack, so it's not good enough. Oh, I'm about to quit, dude. Like, this is so stupid. Alright, so what do I do here? Like... So yeah, I got caught in a catch-22, and I overlooked one detail. Oh man, there's no point in doing this anymore. Oh jeez, man, I got caught in this video. I feel so embarrassed. Right, but anyway, like whatever. You get the gist of the game, and wow, what a waste of time. All right, yeah, I gotta go back to normal life duties, I guess. Anyway, I'm so disappointed. Yeah. Anyway, it happens. It happens.